Frozen 3, Toy Story 5 and Zootopia 2 have all just been announced by Disney. This is absolutely huge news and we need to talk about it. So let's break this down. What is actually happening? Well, Disney just had an earnings call in which the CEO Bob Iger talked to investors about how the company is doing financially and what they're going to do moving forward. And on this call, Iger said, "Today I'm so pleased to announce that we have sequels in the works from our animation studios to some of our most popular franchises, Toy Story, Frozen, and Zootopia." He followed that up by saying, "We'll have more to share about these productions soon, but this is a great example of how we're leaning into our unrivaled brands and franchises." So, what does this mean? Well, obviously it means that we're getting a new Toy Story film, a new Zootopia film, and a new Frozen film. But I think it might be important to talk about why. Because Disney has not been doing amazing financially lately. The recent films have not been massive successes. Strange World only made around $74 million at the box office. Encanto made about $256 million at the box office, which is definitely better. But for comparison, both Zootopia and Toy Story 4 made over $1 billion with a B. And Frozen 2 made almost $1.5 billion at the box office. And I know these are pre-pandemic numbers. People don't go to the theater as often now as they did back in 2019. But still, this is about Frozen, Toy Story, and Zootopia being proven successes. And especially with Frozen and Toy Story that have proven that people will also show up for the sequels. So from a financial standpoint, this makes a lot of sense. It makes sense to double down on the franchises that have proved to be profitable. However, as a fan of these franchises, I am a tiny bit nervous about this announcement. Let's start with Frozen 3. I love Frozen. The first Frozen is literally one of my favorite films of all time. So when they announced Frozen 2, I was both excited and scared. I was excited because this is my favorite film and I just couldn't get enough. I definitely wanted more. But I was also scared because the first film was just such a perfect little package. If the sequel was bad, I was scared it was going to devalue the original. Luckily, Frozen 2 wasn't bad. I mean, it definitely wasn't as good as the original, but it didn't ruin anything. But now that Disney's announced a third Frozen film, this fear or nervousness is starting to creep back. Frozen 2 expanded on the story from the first film, but it also very much ended the story. Everyone got their happy ending. Everyone was where they belonged. But for there to be a third story in this franchise, they're going to have to break some of this peace and happiness that the characters found in Frozen 2. Right now, I really don't see what Frozen 3 could be about. But maybe we should come back in the future and try to predict what's going to happen. Let me know in the comments if you have any theories. Anyways, let's move on to Toy Story. Now, of all the sequels Disney's announced, this might be the one that we need the least. Don't get me wrong, Toy Story is an amazing film and both Toy Story 2 and Toy Story 3 were amazing as well. But the story freaking ended in the third film. Andy gave the toys away, the toys got a new life with Bonnie, and we all cried our eyes out in the theater. They had a perfect trilogy, and then they went and made another one. And this is not to say that Toy Story 4 wasn't a good movie. It was fine. They just had such a perfect ending after the first 3 films that anything after that just starts to feel like they're watering down the brand a bit. We don't need any more Toy Story films. Toy Story 4 was unnecessary, and Toy Story 5 seems even more unnecessary. But then we've got Zootopia 2. This is actually the sequel that I see the most potential in. We obviously don't know what any of these films are going to be about, but with Zootopia, Disney created this whole world in which lots of different stories can take place. We've already seen this with the Zootopia Plus series on Disney+. Now, I think it's a pretty good bet that Zootopia 2 will also be centered around Judy and Nick. The last film ended with both of them being cops, and I think this is actually a great jumping off point for the future of the franchise. Zootopia 2 can just be another mystery case that they have to solve, and this would make perfect sense for the characters. Like, there are plenty of cop shows and movie series, so imagine if Disney just turned Zootopia into the kids' version of that. Like a family-friendly buddy cop series. The Disney version of Lethal Weapon. They could basically continue to make Zootopia films indefinitely. And as long as they can continue to come up with new mysteries for Judy and Nick to solve, I think they should just go for it. But those are just my thoughts. I'd love to hear yours. What do you think about this announcement? Which of these sequels are you most excited to see? Let me know in the comments down below. And while you're down there, remember to hit that like button if you enjoyed this video and subscribe to the channel if you want more videos like this one. But that's pretty much all I had for you today. My name is Martin Riise. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, take care and so long.